Sometimes everything around you feels confusing. You try, you visualize, you pray, but the universe stays silent, and a suffocating feeling arises, vibrational abandonment, as if the field had broken, as if the universe had forgotten you. But maybe what you're seeking isn't out there, it's within. Maybe the field isn't absent, it's simply reflecting with precision a frequency inside you that you haven't noticed. This is the revelation that hurts, but also frees. The field isn't confused, it's mirroring. Greg Braden says the field is a mirror. It doesn't interpret or judge, it simply reflects. And Bruce Lipton explains, when the mind and emotions are in conflict, the electromagnetic field becomes unstable. Like a radio out of tune, the signal doesn't come through clearly. Picture a calm lake, it reflects the sky perfectly. But if the water stirs, the image distorts. The quantum field is the same. The sky remains untouched, but your internal vibration distorts the reflection. It's not the universe in chaos, it's your frequency that's unclear. That's why visualizations and prayers can feel ineffective when coming from a mind disconnected from a body in distress, from an undigested emotion trying to pass as faith. The key lies in listening. The universe is responding. It's reflecting your exact internal state. The fog comes from unheard emotions, silent wounds, hidden beliefs. The chaos isn't outside, it's vibrating within. And if the field mirrors confusion, it can also mirror healing, clarity, peace. All it takes is for the inner lake to settle, for the system to find harmony again, not through force, but through presence. So ask yourself, what have you been emitting without realizing it? Because the field is not confused, it is faithful, and that is the beginning of liberation. You say you want love, but you live in self-protection. You close your body, your gaze, your heart. You build defenses before even getting close. And the universe hears that, not your words, but your vibration. And if that vibration is fear and self-preservation, that's exactly what the field reflects back. You ask for peace, but live on high alert. You rush, tense up, expect the worst. And the universe responds with coherence. If your body vibrates war, it returns war. This is the noise of incoherence, when what you think, feel, and live are out of alignment. Greg Braden says, the field doesn't interpret, it reflects. Bruce Lipton shows that the body responds to deep, even unconscious beliefs. Those beliefs become reactions, which become habits, which shape your vibration. The universe listens even to what you don't realize you're vibrating. Many think the field isn't working, but it's working with precision. Manifestation isn't failing, it's aligned with your current frequency. And though this may be hard to accept, it's liberating. Because if it's a reflection, then it can be changed. But that requires courage to ask, what part of me is still saying no to what I'm asking for? Where is the fear? Where don't I feel safe to receive? These questions aren't easy, but they open the door to realignment. The field recalibrates when there is coherence between words and emotion, intention and action, mind and body. And that alignment begins with small gestures. A firmer yes, a breath before the reaction, a little more care in how you feel. You can keep asking, but you only receive when you vibrate like someone who can already hold what they desire. The field doesn't make mistakes, it only reflects. And if the reflection looks confusing, maybe it's time to go silent and listen to what your vibration is saying beyond the words. The pain of feeling ignored by the universe is a silent one. You ask, you pray, you visualize, and nothing comes back. No sign, only emptiness. And within that emptiness, the question arises, has the universe forgotten me? But what seems like silence is often a mirror. The quantum field doesn't ignore, it reflects. It doesn't judge or reject, it simply returns what you're vibrating. If nothing is coming back, maybe what's being sent out is absence, noise, contradiction. Greg Braden says the field is a living consciousness. It doesn't choose to respond, it amplifies your frequency. Like a faithful echo, it returns even the muffled sound within. You might ask for love, but if you vibrate abandonment, abandonment is what comes back. You may desire peace, but if you live in internal war, that is what will be magnified. The field listens to your coherence, not your words. Bruce Lipton states, up to 95% of our responses come from the subconscious, which means even if you believe you're vibrating clarity, old traumas, limiting beliefs, and scarcity memories might be emitting a different frequency, and the field picks up on all of it. This isn't punishment, it's a key. The universe responds with precision. So the mission isn't to shout louder, it's to tune in more truthfully, to reorganize what you feel, think, and live, to reprogram what you silently vibrate. What you're receiving today is a reflection, a mirror that clearly shows where there is misalignment, where the request doesn't match the vibrational foundation. That may hurt, but it also sets you free, because a mirror allows for choice and reconnection. Change begins with small acts of coherence, with daily practices that align mind, body, and emotion with truth. You're not being ignored. You're being called back to yourself. The field isn't deaf, it's exact. And that precision can become your greatest ally when you learn to truly listen. It's understandable to want to blame the universe when everything feels stuck. Maybe the field is testing me. Maybe it's just not my time. But when you place responsibility outside of yourself, you lose the power of transformation that is inherently yours. Saying the universe isn't cooperating often really means, I don't want to look at the disorganized energy within me. Because doing so is uncomfortable. It requires listening, silence, emotional presence, and that's not always easy. But the field doesn't make mistakes. What fails at times is our listening. What gets lost is internal connection. What disrupts manifestation is trying to use the field as a shortcut without going through deep vibrational realignment. Bruce Lipton teaches that the nervous system plays an active role in creating reality. Stress, fear, and self-protection generate unstable fields, and the universe reflects those signals with precision. Greg Braden adds, the field is a mirror. It doesn't interpret exhaustion or frustration. It reflects them clearly. If there's internal chaos, the reflection will be chaotic. If there's coherence, the reflection becomes organized. So the question shifts. Where is the root of your vibration? What part of you is still vibrating doubt while your mind declares certainty? Spirituality is not an escape, it's a return. It's the courage to say, the order I want to see out there must bloom in here. Affirmations, rituals, and visualizations only work when there is vibrational coherence. If your heart is at war, the field will reflect that war. Not as punishment, but as vibrational fidelity. A fidelity that, though uncomfortable, is an invitation to awaken. Life is not against you, the field is not chaotic. What may be in disorder is your inner communication, and that can be reorganized. The most transformative question is, what part of me is still not listening? Because that's where healing begins. And when you truly listen to yourself, the universe responds with clarity. You may think you've already healed, that the past is behind you, but the body doesn't forget what the mind tries to bury. The nervous system doesn't file away what was never fully felt, and the quantum field keeps picking up those unprocessed emotions, because vibrationally they're still active. Every unresolved memory creates an energetic crack, a distortion. These distortions add up, generating a chaotic frequency that interferes with your manifestations. You desire lightness, but heaviness is still vibrating. You want clarity, but internal fog remains, and the field reflects that. It's like listening to soft music with interference. The melody exists, but it comes through distorted. It's the same with your desires. They get lost in the noise of old frequencies that haven't yet been integrated. These microfrequencies come from silent traumas, inherited fears, old wounds you avoided feeling, and they continue vibrating because they were never truly held. Bruce Lipton explains, each emotion alters your biochemistry, which shapes the magnetic field you emit. Undigested emotions create chronic chemical discharges, dysregulating your nervous system and your vibration. This isn't a metaphor, it's vibrational physiology. The hardest part, these emotions are subtle. A muffled sadness, a smiling anger, a fear disguised as productivity. Until they're heard, they'll keep speaking for you, in the field. Healing begins when you stop pretending, when you name what you feel, when you stop rationalizing and start feeling with presence. Not to drown in it, but to integrate it. The field responds more to felt truth than to a perfect image. It aligns with your vibrational authenticity, not with performance. You don't have to be fully healed to manifest, but you do have to be honest. Because the field doesn't respond to what you fake, it responds to what you vibrate. As within, so without. Spiritual neuroscience shows that this phrase is more than symbolic. It's measurable. Your brain doesn't just think, it transmits, receives, and decodes frequencies. It's in constant conversation with the quantum field. Bruce Lipton teaches that repeated thoughts create neurological patterns, which generate electrical impulses and electromagnetic fields. These fields expand and inform the universe. Even when unconscious, your mind is sending signals, and the field receives them with precision. Repeating positive affirmations for a few minutes can't override a full day of self-sabotaging thoughts. It's like switching the radio station for 1 second and letting go. The signal returns to the old frequency. So what's imprinted more deeply? What beliefs about yourself and the world are still being transmitted? The field doesn't respond to momentary intention. It responds to sustained vibration. And that vibration is born from emotional repetition and the mental patterns you feed daily. According to Lipton, change happens with emotion. Emotion seals the new programming into the body and turns ideas into lived experiences. Without emotion, there is no new vibration. And without a new vibration, the field continues reflecting the old. The brain needs practice, silence, and emotion aligned with thought. Every new belief must be installed like a new broadcast signal. Your brain is a transmission tower. The quality of your signal depends on the coherence between your desires and your beliefs. Conflict creates instability, and the field reflects that with accuracy. Brief moments of clarity don't shift the frequency if they're not sustained. Without consistency, the reflection in the field remains the same. Your brain can be your limitation or your most powerful tool for manifestation. It all depends on the awareness with which you observe your patterns and the presence with which you install the new ones. You are the tower. You are the antenna, and the signal you transmit creates the world you live in. In moments of pain, it's common to seek relief outside ourselves, to wait for the universe to shift, for the sign to appear, for peace to arrive from the outside. But that logic is reversed and dangerous. True change begins within. You can do rituals, light candles, use crystals, recite affirmations, but without an organized frequency, none of it holds. These practices are tools, and they only work on solid ground, when there is coherence between intention and vibrational presence. Trying to fix the universe without aligning your vibration is like cleaning the mirror hoping the reflection will change, while your face remains dirty. The problem isn't in the reflection, it's in what you're vibrating. Bruce Lipton says, the environment alters the cell, and you are your own environment. If you're polluted with fear, urgency, and self-punishment, no external tool will bring lasting clarity. Everything starts in your personal field. The mind, disconnected from the body and the heart, tries to control the universe. It stays busy. But connection doesn't come from doing, it comes from presence. And presence requires pause, silence, and listening. It's through feeling that you begin to see the cracks, where you're still forcing, still running, still blaming the outside. The universe is in order. What's asking for alignment is your inner center. Greg Braden speaks of coherence between the heart and brain as the bridge to the field. When there is harmony, vibration stabilizes, and the universe responds. Not because it's been manipulated, but because you've become compatible with what you desire. This coherence is born from welcoming, not from effort, from becoming the signal, not chasing it, from realizing that the problem was never the universe, but the internal misalignment. That alignment comes through honest practice, intentional silence, and real listening, through simple acts that say, I hear myself, I welcome myself, I realign. Because the universe doesn't want to be controlled, it wants you to be in tune. And when that happens, life flows, not by magic, but by vibrational truth. Have you ever felt late for your own life? As if there's an invisible race and you never quite catch the right pace, tasks, emotions, urgency, and underneath it all, a growing emptiness. That's a clear symptom of vibrational misalignment, constant urgency. The feeling that everything is for now doesn't come from time. It comes from a body stuck in survival mode, a nervous system that doesn't know rest, an anxious heart, and that sends a message to the universe. I'm in danger. I'm disconnected. The quantum field responds accordingly. Bruce Lipton teaches that stress shuts the body down to creation. Intuition goes quiet. Creativity contracts. The channel becomes congested, and the field finds no space to deliver the new. Greg Braden reminds us, the heart is the center of vibrational coherence. When the heart is at peace, you become a center of order, even amidst external chaos. But when the heart becomes noisy, all of life becomes disorganized. The field reads your internal state as its compass. If that compass spins without direction, the universe can't find a clear map. Disconnection comes from this loss of center. Relationships become unstable, decisions stall, intuition dims, and everything loses color. But this isn't the end. It's a deep call for reorganization. Chaos is not punishment, it's communication. It's the body asking for pause. It's the soul asking to reconnect with its frequency. So how do you begin again? Slow down. Not everything is for now. Breathe before acting. Be silent before asking. Because urgency is a reflection of inner confusion. And when you become still, the field realigns. You're not lost. You're simply moving through a turbulent field. And every field can return to calm, with presence, with listening, with compassion. The order you seek outside begins within, with the simple act of stopping, feeling, naming, welcoming. Because the universe responds with clarity when you become the point of reference. When everything feels heavy and disconnected, we often search for techniques to restore clarity. But true vibrational restoration doesn't come from complexity. It comes from presence, from conscious simplicity, from pauses that give the soul space again. This is where this three-step technique is born, gentle yet profound. Step 1, name what you feel without judgment. Most of us have learned to resist or rationalize our emotions. But emotion doesn't need judgment. It needs recognition. Saying I feel fear or I feel anger brings light to what was vibrating in the shadows, and everything brought into the light begins to reorganize. Step 2, breathe until your body slows down. The breath reconnects mind and body. Conscious breathing allows the nervous system to exit defense mode and access safety, a state essential for vibrational realignment. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Repeat. Observe the shift. The field responds more to the state of your body than to the content of your thoughts. Step 3, ask honestly, is this feeling mine or inherited? Many emotions are passed down or absorbed from the environment. By asking, is this mine, you invite vibrational truth to emerge. Sometimes the answer comes as a sigh, a subtle release, and what isn't yours can leave. These 3 steps, name, breathe, discern, form a quiet ritual of field purification. No scenery, no props, just the willingness to feel with presence. And with that, the field begins to respond differently. This practice doesn't promise to erase pain in minutes, but it clears the channel so healing can flow. With consistency, it restores vibrational clarity. Bruce Lipton reminds us, biology responds to environment, and when your inner environment shifts, even your genes begin to reorganize. Your practice is energetic and epigenetic. Nothing outside needs to change. Just pause, feel, name, breathe, listen. The universe is already responding to your choice to be present. You can say 1,000 times that you want peace, love, abundance. But if inside you there's still fear or self-sabotage vibrating, that is what the quantum field picks up and reflects back. The field doesn't hear your words, it hears your coherence. Mental intention is only powerful when it's anchored in genuine emotion, embodied presence, and practices that support what you desire. Otherwise, it becomes noise, just another layer between what you think and what you truly vibrate. Emotional coherence doesn't mean being happy all the time. It means being whole. It's when what you feel, think, and do move in harmony. When you say you want love and allow yourself to be loved. When you desire lightness and actually slow down. When you want abundance and treat yourself with more dignity. Incoherence is a crossed signal. You want something, but vibrate the opposite. You visualize greatness, but sabotage yourself. You say you want to be seen, but keep hiding. And the field reflects that mess. Half-built paths, unstable relationships. Bruce Lipton reminds us the conscious mind emits only a small part of our vibration. It's the body, through its habits and emotions, that transmits the strongest signals. Positive affirmations don't shift the field if the body is still frozen in fear. The body doesn't lie. Greg Braden adds, prosody per feeling is what activates the code of creation. Feeling is not a fleeting emotion, it's sustained vibration. It's how you live, how you act, how you treat yourself. It's vibrational coherence in your everyday life. You don't need to convince the universe. You need to convince yourself. Align mind, heart, and action. When that happens, the field responds. Coherence is quiet but powerful. It doesn't require perfection, only truth. The question isn't why hasn't it arrived, but what in me is still vibrating the opposite of what I want. That deep listening reveals what's been blocking the flow. The universe never says no. It simply responds to what you sustain with your heart. It's not about thinking more. It's about living what you think. The universe cannot resist coherence. When every part of you says yes, the yes happens. Imagine an old radio. You're searching for a station, but all you hear is static. The music is there being broadcast, but the tuning is unstable. The problem isn't the signal, it's the noise. The quantum field works the same way. It reflects your vibration with precision, even when you don't realize it. There is no error, only mirror. The static comes from within: anxiety, fear, doubt, urgency, old beliefs. All of it interferes with reception. And even when the universe responds, you may misinterpret the fuzzy echo as rejection. But you're not being rejected, you're being reflected. The urge to control, to force answers, to speed up the process, only increases the interference. The field doesn't respond to force, it responds to clarity, to the coherence between emotion, thought, and action. Trying to turn up the volume with more rituals, affirmations, or external practices won't fix the tuning issue. If the internal noise remains, everything sounds distorted. So what clears the static? Silence, presence, breath, true listening. Listening to what's been muffled inside, what you've been avoiding feeling, the discomfort you've been masking with busyness or performative spirituality. The confusion isn't in the universe, it's in the reflection of your own misaligned frequency. But you can turn the dial, adjust gently, find the point of clarity where the signal comes through clean, and then everything changes. You don't need more force, you need more listening. It's not about effort, it's about tuning in. The universe is already broadcasting the signal. The music is playing. Life is trying to reach you. You just need to clear your inner field so you can hear it clearly. You're not lost, just full of static that isn't yours. And when the noise fades, the field sings. The quantum field is not confused. It is ordered, governed by laws that do not fluctuate. What changes is the inner field, your vibration. And this, far from being a burden, can be liberating. If the universe responds precisely to what you vibrate, then you are not at the mercy of chance. You may simply be disconnected from yourself, and reconnection is possible. Bruce Lipton teaches that the way you perceive the world shapes your biology. Observing your emotions, naming them truthfully, reorganizes your vibrational field. This changes your broadcast frequency and the kind of response the universe can offer you. Greg Braden reminds us, feeling is the prayer. It's not enough to wish, you must feel. Feel as if it were real, not to convince the universe, but to come into coherence with what you desire to receive. The universe doesn't deliver what you want, it delivers what you sustain. If life seems full of confusing reflections, perhaps it's an invitation to reorganize what's inside, with listening, compassion, and practice. You don't need to fix everything now, you only need the next step. Quiet, honest, present. Reflect, what still vibrates as noise within me? Where is there urgency, fear, avoidance? What can I do today, truthfully, to restore my original frequency? More importantly, how can I become the environment that welcomes the life I wish to live? When you become fertile ground, the field responds. When you grow still, the music begins. When you align within, the universe reveals itself without. Nothing is wrong, you simply need to return to yourself. And when that happens, the field responds. It's not magic, it's physics, it's biology, it's living spirituality, it's a choice, and the field is already waiting.